What's going on, everybody? My name is MotoBeast, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make thumbnails such like this. Easy, simple designs, but effective. And before we get into the video, you can download the Photoshop software in the description below, as well as the unlock key. So let's go ahead and jump into it and get started. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do before opening up Photoshop is make sure you have your base images ready. Which brings us to our first step, prepping. Prepping is something that I like to do when I know that I have to make a thumbnail for a video. I like to have my images laid out and ready to go. This will save you time when making the thumbnail. That way you can get it out, get it ready, and release your video. Alright, so now that all your prepping is done and you are ready to start on your thumbnail, the first thing you have to do is open up Photoshop and go to File and New. The first thing you're going to want to do is set the width and height of your canvas. You're going to want to make sure that you are set on pixels and the standard dimensions for a YouTube thumbnail, which is 1280 by 720. Now that you have your canvas ready to go, you can start placing your images. To do that, you're going to go to File and then Place. Now I'm going to start by placing the image of me, so I'm going to double click. It places the image, and now we're going to resize it to the position we like. Now I did make it take up a little bit more than half the canvas. That is because our other image is a little smaller. So after you're done repositioning and transforming it to where you would like, you can press enter, and with every image that you place on the canvas, you're going to want to go to your layers, right click, and click rasterize. This makes the image editable. So we're going to go ahead and place our second image the same way that I just showed you and get it in the position that we like. Now that we have our image placed, we're going to go over to the layers, right click the image, and rasterize, making the image editable. So now we have our two base images placed. Now the next thing you're going to want to do to make the images stand out is going to be the lighting. Now to get the lighting effect, the only thing you have to do is go to New Layer, come over to your brush tool, make sure that you have white selected. You can actually switch these by just clicking X. Come up to your brush setting. I usually keep it at 900 and hardness at 0. Then come onto your image and add the lighting where you would like. I'm just going to put it in the two most obvious spots. One here, one here. After you added your lighting, you're going to come over here, click on Normal, and then go down and click on Overlay. This gives it a nice bright effect. Now that we have added the lighting to our image, we're going to go ahead and separate the two images with the rectangle tool. All you have to do is click this tool here, come onto your canvas, and you're going to want to make it larger than the canvas size. Now you can make it however big or however small you would like. I usually keep it fairly thin to make sure I don't take up too much room. Once you have made your rectangle, you can click enter, and then come over to the image, right click, and go to blending options. Here we're going to go ahead and edit the color. Usually I like to keep it either yellow or something vibrant, something bright, but for this one we're going to go with red. After you're done and you have selected the color that you would like, you can go ahead and click OK. Now that you are done selecting the color, you're going to want to edit it. You're going to want to put it in its right place. So to do that, you're going to go to Edit, and then Free Transform. Now we're just going to move it over the first image and make sure that it is long enough, which you can edit and free transform. Now you have separated the two images with your rectangle tool, and you're going to want to start adding your text. Now before we start adding our text, you can actually download custom text on Dafont.com. The link is in the description below. So to start, you're going to want to come over to your text tool and then click on the canvas. Now I'm going to go ahead and start adding my text and placing them wherever I would like with the free transfer editing. So now that we have added our text, you notice how it takes up most of the thumbnail. The reason behind this is to capture the viewer's attention. You want them to see your thumbnail and immediately be interested. So now that we have our text added, we're going to go ahead and edit it and make it stand out. The point of this is to capture the viewer's attention. So to do that, you're going to go ahead and click on the layer. We're going to start with Amazing Loot first and go to FX. After you click on FX, go to Blending Options. Here you can find all your options to edit your text. And we're going to first start with Drop Shadow. Now this is all personal preference. Me, I like to set my distance to 10, completing the drop shadow. So now we're going to go ahead and add a stroke to make it stand out. Again, this is personal preference. You can set it to whatever size you would like. It is at 3 right now, but usually I would keep it at 5 to make it stand out a little bit more. After you're done, you can just click OK. Alright, so now that we are done with our Amazing Loot text, we're going to go ahead and do the From Dynamic box. We're going to do this the same way that we did the first one, so let's get started. Now we are done with our text. It is the right size, it pops and stands out. It attracts the eye of the viewer. So now the last thing we're going to want to do is add the errors you've seen on the example. This also attracts the eye of the viewer. So to do this, much like your first images, you're going to go to File and then Place. You're going to select the arrow and place it on your canvas. Now you can reposition it and place it where you would like. Now that we have placed our arrow, we're going to go over to the layer, right click, and click Rasterize, making it editable. Now you can't go back through the process and place the image again and edit it again, but a faster way to do that is Ctrl J, making a copy of the original image. Now all you have to do is select your Move tool and then move the copy. Now you notice how it's not in the right position and you would like to change that. Very simple, we're just going to go to Edit and then Free Transform. Now we can move it into whatever position we would like. Now that we are done placing our arrows, we're going to go ahead and edit them and really make them stand out. So to do that, just like the text, we're going to go down to FX, click on Blending Options, select our Drop Shadow, and like I said, this is all personal preference, guys. You can set these settings to whatever you would like. Personally, I like to keep my distance at 10, and with my color overlay, I usually like to keep it bright to capture the attention of the viewer. So for this, I'm going to select yellow. Now notice how the arrow doesn't really stand out from the original images. So to make it stand out, just add a stroke on it. You can set the size to whatever you would like. 3 looks pretty good, so I'm just going to go ahead and click OK, finishing our first arrow. Now we're going to do the exact same to our other arrow to make it stand out. Now we have finished both of our arrows, making it stand out from the original images. In return, capturing the eye of the viewer, which is the sole purpose of the thumbnail, is to capture the eye of the viewer and make them curious. So now, last but not least, we're going to go ahead and add some shading around the edge of the canvas. Now this is completely optional. In my opinion, it makes the thumbnail look a little bit more attractive. So to do that, you're going to want to select the layer under your lighting, which for me will be the Dynamic Box image. Now once we have selected that, we're going to want to go and click New Layer. It has added our new layer above our Dynamic Box image. So now with the new layer selected, we're going to go over to our brush tool. Make sure that we have black as our color, and now we are ready to add the shading. Now don't worry about resizing your brush. The only thing that you have to do is hold down Control and press the minus button. You can zoom out however far you would like. Now that you have zoomed out where you would like, you can start adding your shading. Now the sole purpose of the shading is to darken the edge of the canvas and draw the attention into the main part of the thumbnail. And remember, when doing this, guys, you want to shade it evenly throughout the whole canvas. So if you mess up by any chance and do this or this, and it's just a little too dark, the only thing you have to do is go to Edit and then step backward, therefore taking away any mistake you may have done. So we're just going to go ahead and add some shading around the canvas to complete this thumbnail. Now that we are done adding our shading, I'm just going to go ahead and zoom back in, that way I can get a clear picture. So to do that, you're just going to hold down Control and the plus key. As you can see, we did a nice even shade around the whole canvas, drawing the attention to the main part of the thumbnail. Your thumbnail is now complete. You have made an amazing thumbnail ready to add onto your video to release. Now the last thing you're going to want to do is save the image. Now this is very important, especially when adding the image to YouTube. You're going to come up to File, Save As, and then on the format you're going to want to select PNG. Select where you would like the file to be saved. I have it in my backgrounds folder. And then the file name, I usually just name it as whatever the title of the video may be, or any desired name. So for this I'm just going to say dynamic, and then click save. Now once you get here to this PNG options, you're not really going to want to worry about the compressions or the interlace options, just click OK. So now your image is saved and you are ready to go. You have successfully made a thumbnail for your video. Now like I said, there is a link in the description to download the Photoshop, and inside that file it also has the unlock key. If you would like to use the font that I use in this video, I will leave it in the description where you can download it and install it into your computer. I hope this video helped you out a lot. If there is anything else you would like me to go over, anything that you would like to see, make sure you post it in the thread comments below. As always, I'm MonoBeast. Have fun, stay tuned, and I'll see you next time.